You have been poisoning yourself every single day, and you do not even realize it. Everything you believe about nutrition, longevity, and health is fundamentally backwards. You are told that aging is inevitable, that cognitive decline is a natural part of growing older, and that chronic illness is simply the luck of the genetic draw. It is a lie. The global food industry has sold you a fast-track ticket to an early grave, packaged in brightly colored plastic wrappers and loaded with synthetic chemical preservatives your body cannot recognize as food. You have been doing it wrong your entire life, trading the vital, healing life force of the earth for synthetic empty calories that extinguish your biological flame. Hidden away from the smog, chemical agriculture, and chaos of the modern industrial world, this is how we monks actually do it. We live longer, our bones stay stronger, and our minds remain razor-sharp well into our twilight years. I am monk Shi Yan Ling. I am almost 80 years old. My joints move with absolute fluidity. My memory is as clear as a mountain stream, and my daily physical energy easily rivals the young novices who climb our temple steps. We rely on the absolute raw power of the earth, keeping our physical nourishment tight, functional, and completely free of industrial fluff. When I look back at the family I left behind in the valleys below, my heart aches with an undeniable truth. We shared the exact same bloodline and the exact same genetics. Yet our biological paths diverged the moment they embraced the modern industrialized diet. They fell prey to the convenience of fast food, the highly addictive allure of refined artificial sugars, and heavily processed meals. Today, those relatives are either already gone from this world or trapped in failing physical bodies, crushed under the weight of lifelong chronic diseases. They suffered from sudden heart attacks, debilitating arthritis, insulin-resistant diabetes, and Alzheimer's disease. Their vital cellular energy was drained by the sustenance they falsely believed was keeping them alive. I chose a vastly different path. I retreated to the strict simplicity of the monastery, where nourishment comes directly from the living soil. The profound difference between my enduring vitality and their tragic decline is the physical material we chose to build our vessels with. It is the life or death difference between eating dead, chemically processed industrial fillers, and consuming the vibrant energy of whole, natural foods. The modern consumer eats for momentary, fleeting pleasure, while we eat for permanent cellular resilience. Your body is a biological machine, and you are flooding its engine with toxic acid. The secret to our monastic longevity is not hidden in a mystical scroll. It hangs heavily from the branches and sprouts vigorously from the dirt. The foundational pillar of our physical vitality begins with berries. Modern science is finally recognizing them as the most potent, concentrated anti-aging compounds on the planet. I start my day with a generous handful of wild blueberries, nature's most aggressive defenders of human youth. For centuries, monks have consumed these deeply pigmented fruits to maintain visual clarity and mental focus during brutally long hours of strict meditation. Modern clinical science has caught up to our ancient practices, discovering that these berries are bursting with anthocyanins. These extraordinarily powerful antioxidants possess the rare biological ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. They aggressively neutralize the destructive free radicals that cause cellular rusting and premature aging inside your skull. While the modern consumer ages rapidly from the severe oxidative stress caused by urban pollution and synthetic seed oils, these berries act as an impenetrable internal shield. They protect human DNA from mutating, dramatically enhance neuroplasticity, and aggressively block rapid cognitive decline. When I eat a wild blueberry, I am directly ingesting the exact biological resilience of a plant that survived harsh freezing winters, transferring its strict survival mechanisms directly into my own human bloodstream. But blueberries are only the beginning of our ancient apothecary. We hold the pomegranate in the absolute highest reverence. It is a complex, ancient fruit that I consume regularly to keep my cardiovascular system as resilient and powerful as a war drum. While the modern world suffers endlessly from clogged arteries, sluggish blood circulation, and skyrocketing blood pressure due to hydrogenated oils and trans fats, the ruby red areoles of the pomegranate provide a massive surge of cardiovascular vitality. Rigorous scientific studies demonstrate that pomegranates directly stimulate the production of a miraculous molecule called urolithin A inside the human gut. This specific molecule physically forces the body to clean out and revive the damaged mitochondria within our cells. This internal cellular recycling process, known as mitophagy, is the literal fountain of youth. It ruthlessly clears out dead, dying, and decaying cells to make necessary room for fresh, vigorous cellular energy production. This biological mechanism is the exact reason why, at almost 80 years old, I never experienced the heavy, chronic fatigue that plagues modern men and women before noon. My blood flows freely without restriction, my blood pressure remains in perfect natural balance, and my entire cardiovascular system is continuously rebuilt and rejuvenated by the profound chemistry of this ancient fruit. To permanently maintain the frictionless lubrication of my joints and the tight elasticity of my aging skin, I turn exclusively to the rich, heavy, buttery flesh of the avocado. The modern fast food industry relies entirely on cheap, highly inflammatory, chemically extracted seed oils that scorch internal human organs and stiffen the skeletal structure. My relatives naively consumed these toxic oils every single day, resulting in the excruciating, debilitating joint pain that confined them to padded chairs in their agonizing final years. Instead of consuming factory lubricants, I deeply nourish my physical body with the dense monounsaturated fats found naturally in whole avocados. Clinical science definitively proves that these specific healthy, unbroken fats are absolutely essential for the bodily absorption of fat-soluble vitamins and the aggressive reduction of systemic inflammation. Avocados are densely rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, specific organic compounds that form a protective armor for the human eyes and brain tissue. The creamy green flesh provides the exact necessary building blocks for my cell membranes, structurally ensuring they remain highly pliable, functional, and strong. This is exactly why my face and arms do not carry the deep, leathery furrows of a typical 80-year-old man who has lived his life on a cheap diet of processed carbohydrates. The avocado is the Earth's perfect sustaining fat. Throughout the long day, as I engage in hours of rigorous physical labor in our steep temple gardens, I rely exclusively on the steady, perfectly sustained energy provided by whole apples and bananas. These are not throwaway fruits. They are highly complex biological delivery systems specifically designed by nature for optimal human digestion and energy synthesis. The standard modern diet aggressively spikes human blood sugar with artificial high fructose corn syrups and highly refined grains. This creates a chaotic, destructive biological cycle of manic energy, followed by exhausting crashes, inevitably leading to cellular insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome. A whole apple, however, is deeply woven with complex pectin, a dense soluble fiber that strategically feeds the microbiome in the lower gut. This fosters a thriving colony of beneficial bacteria that modern science links directly to impenetrable immune function and stable emotional well-being. A whole banana provides an absolutely perfect biological matrix of raw potassium, elemental magnesium, and highly complex, slow-release carbohydrates, preventing muscle cramps and regulating electrical nerve function. When I eat an apple or a banana, I eat it in its entirety, exactly as the raw earth presented it. I do not mechanically juice it to extract only the liquid sugar, nor do I bake it into a highly processed pastry laden with synthetic preservatives. The profound synergistic effect of the intact fiber and naturally bound sugars provides me with an incredibly enduring physical stamina that sustains heavy labor from sunrise to sunset. When the cool evening approaches, I satisfy my body with the ancient profound sweetness of raw dates. For thousands of consecutive years, hardened monks, warriors, and desert nomads have heavily utilized the date as a fundamental source of survival, endurance, and extreme longevity. In the collapsing modern world, sick people desperately seek emotional comfort in refined, bleached white sugars that violently inflame the brain tissue and directly feed the growth of chronic diseases like rapid-spreading cancer and severe diabetes. My own relatives tragically succumbed to these highly addictive sweet poisons, their physical bodies rotting from the inside out while they remained completely unaware of the cause. I perfectly satisfy my body's biological need for rapid energy replenishment with the whole date, an ultimate superfood packed tightly with bone-strengthening elemental minerals like raw calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium. Science now firmly confirms that whole dates possess a surprisingly low glycemic index strictly because of their massive fiber density. They do not trigger the destructive aging insulin spikes caused by modern candy. They are incredibly rich in flavonoids, carotenoids, and phenolic acid, all of which actively and aggressively reduce systemic inflammation and build a fortress against the chronic illnesses destroying the global modern population. A single date contains the highly concentrated biological energy of the sun, perfectly preserved within its naturally caramel-like flesh, providing deep, restorative nourishment to my aging skeletal system. Let us look closer down to the microscopic cellular level of your existence to understand exactly why you are aging so much faster than you naturally should. Inside every single cell of your physical body are chromosomes, and tightly capped at the ends of these chromosomes are protective shields known to science as telomeres. Every single time your human cells divide to repair your body, these telomeres get slightly shorter. When they become too short, the cell can no longer divide. It becomes senescent and it dies. This specific process is the exact biological mechanism of human aging. Rigorous science has definitively proven that a daily diet high in chemically processed foods, refined artificial sugars, and synthetic laboratory additives artificially accelerates the violent shortening of these telomeres at an absolutely terrifying rate. You are literally burning through your limited biological lifespan with every single bite of factory-made, hyper-palatable food. The artificial ingredients provoke a massive systemic immune response, creating a low-grade, highly destructive chronic inflammation that courses through your veins like a slow-burning acid. This acid actively scorches and destroys your telomeres. My relatives, who indulged heavily in the toxic conveniences of the modern Western diet, unknowingly fueled this internal acid fire for decades. Their telomeres frayed entirely, their cellular regeneration halted, and their bodies aged rapidly, leading directly to early, painful deaths. Conversely, the living raw superfoods that I consume religiously every single day are packed to the brim with the exact biochemical antioxidants and phytonutrients required by human biology to protect, repair, and lengthen these vital telomeres. The dense anthocyanins in the blueberries and the raw punicalagins in the pomegranates act as targeted chemical fire extinguishers, aggressively putting out the destructive flames of cellular chronic inflammation. They physically shield the human DNA from the massive oxidative damage caused by environmental toxins. By consuming exclusively these unbroken whole foods, I am actively and consciously preserving my foundational genetic integrity. At nearly 80 years old, my true biological cellular age is measured to be decades younger than my actual chronological age. My internal cells divide and replicate with the aggressive vigor of a much younger man, specifically because I have not spent my entire life battering my internal biological machinery with unrecognizable chemical compounds. Mother Earth engineered these specific plants directly to interact perfectly with human biology, creating a flawless symbiotic relationship. The plant actively provides the extreme defense mechanisms it utilized to survive in the wild, transferring that precise, hardened resilience directly into my living human tissue. The science is absolute. Living foods create living, thriving human bodies, while dead, processed foods only accelerate your journey to the grave. We must also urgently address the silent, controlling engine of your overall health, located deep within your lower gut. Your entire digestive tract is home to trillions of living bacteria, an incredibly intricate ecosystem known scientifically as the human microbiome. Modern clinical science rightfully refers to the gut as the second human brain, completely responsible for producing the vast majority of your serotonin, regulating your immune response, and strictly dictating your baseline metabolism. When you consume modern fast food, heavily loaded with industrial emulsifiers and synthetic preservatives designed to extend shelf life for years, you are dropping microscopic biological weapons directly into your gut. These harsh chemicals brutally decimate the beneficial, life-saving bacteria, allowing pathogenic microbes to violently multiply. This severe biological dysbiosis leads directly to a dangerous physical condition known as leaky gut syndrome. Toxins seep directly through the compromised intestinal wall and straight into your main bloodstream, triggering massive systemic disease. I watched my own brother suffer the agonizing consequences of this exact process. His daily diet of highly processed meats and refined white carbohydrates completely destroyed his internal microbiome, leading to crushing chronic fatigue, severe joint inflammation, and a rapid, terrifying cognitive decline. He foolishly traded the natural vitality of his human body for the fleeting pleasure of artificial laboratory flavorings. In the high monastery, we fiercely cultivate and violently protect our internal microbiome as if it were the most sacred, ancient temple garden on earth. The pure whole foods we consume are the ultimate prebiotics, providing the exact necessary roughage and complex plant fiber that directly feed the good, life-saving bacteria. When I eat an apple, I am directly nourishing the trillions of microscopic biological allies that work tirelessly, second by second, to keep my body alive and disease-free. The dense soluble fiber travels safely and fully intact through the harsh stomach acid directly to the lower intestine, where it ferments powerfully and produces highly critical short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Modern science has definitively shown that butyrate is a miraculous compound that rapidly reduces dangerous inflammation in the brain tissue, heavily strengthens the physical intestinal barrier, and actively regulates human gene expression to forcefully prevent cancerous mutations. Because our monastic food is absolutely never stripped of its natural necessary fiber by heavy industrial factory processing, it digests slowly, safely, and perfectly harmoniously. We monks absolutely do not suffer from the rampant modern plagues of burning acid reflux, painful irritable bowel syndrome, or chronic agonizing indigestion simply because we eat the physical food in the exact unbroken whole package that nature originally intended. The necessary transition completely away from chemically processed industrial foods is not merely a superficial change in a daily diet. It is a profound, life-saving biological awakening. It is a necessary, aggressive rebellion against a massive, greedy global industry that profits heavily from your continuous sickness and relies entirely on your engineered chemical addiction to their synthetic creations. The intense cravings you currently feel for greasy fast food and refined white sugar are not natural human hunger. They are the desperate cries of a completely hijacked brain chemistry, intentionally manipulated by corporate food scientists. When you finally muster the strength to break completely free from this toxic cycle and begin directly nourishing your physical body with the vibrant, living electrical energy of the Earth's natural superfoods, you will instantly experience massive mental clarity. The heavy brain fog will lift, the stabbing aches in your aging joints will permanently subside, and your constant fatigue will be permanently replaced by calm, enduring energy. You will realize the hard truth that aging, exactly as modern society currently understands it, is largely just a visible symptom of decades of chronic, voluntary chemical poisoning. If you are completely exhausted from waking up tired every single morning, if you are deeply terrified of blindly following the exact same tragic, painful path of chronic disease that has claimed so many of your family members, and if you are finally ready to violently reclaim the natural, surging physical vitality that is your absolute human birthright, you must take aggressive action today. I have meticulously compiled the exact, specific daily monastic routines, the highly precise whole food combinations, and the ancient guarded nutritional secrets into a comprehensive guide. It will show you precisely, step by step, how to transition your physical life without unnecessary fluff or wasted time. You do not need to abandon your life and move to a remote mountain monastery to experience this profound biological healing. You strictly only need to change exactly what you choose to put on your plate today. Click the link in the video description directly below this video right now to secure your personal copy of my secret guide. Learn exactly how to stay healthy, reverse your biological age, and live decades longer eating exactly what the earth provides. Click the link below right now.